body wants to have the baby grow, and so this hormone helps.
Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the Hobby Homestead. If you're new here, my name is Heather. I ask that you hit that like and that subscribe button to follow along for all the wonderful content that we put out. Today we are focusing on fresh milled homemade cinnamon rolls. I made them over the weekend for the boys and they enjoyed them. They finished the last two this morning and they're like, Mom, will you make us some more? So I'm like, yeah, let's get at it. So, and I got a wonderful surprise. Over the weekend, my husband gave me an early Christmas present. And that early Christmas present is my Nutrimill. So we are going to use it today and make our own fresh milled flour and show you guys how to use this. And it's a wonderful tool. I love it. I'm excited to use it with you guys. Okay, so I'm going to start out by using a half a cup just to make sure it's going to come out the right consistency I want it. I am still new to using the mill. All right, so now that we got our flour milled, which it's beautiful, the texture of this, we're gonna go ahead and get our milk heated up to 110 degrees. That way we can get our yeast to start activating and blooming. So we're gonna go ahead and get that process started. And then we'll keep going along and we'll get the dough and stuff made into our KitchenAid mixer. So follow along. Okay, so to my pot, I'm gonna use 1 1/8 cup of whole milk. And I'm gonna heat this up to 110 degrees. That way, when I put my yeast in, my yeast is gonna get activated. It'll get blooming because of the warmth. And then with that, you wanna use 3 3/4 teaspoons of sugar, which I'm going to substitute my sugar with stevia because I try not to use regular sugar in my house if I can help it. All right, so we're gonna use 3 3/4 tablespoons. I'm gonna put that right in my milk, that way it gets dissolved. And then after that gets dissolved and my milk gets nice and warm, we'll go ahead and we will add our yeast to it, which I am going to use 2 packets of active dry yeast. You can use instant yeast if you want it to go ahead and get done quicker, but I'm going to let this sit for a little bit. I'm trying to come up with a lot of different fresh milled stuff because I want to get out of using the store-bought flour and to using just fresh milled flour. We got a lot of new recipes coming up and I am excited to share those with you guys. So we're just getting our sugar and our milk here up to temp, and we want to get it to 110 degrees. You don't want to overheat it because if you overheat it, then you can cause it to kill your yeast. So we're at 111, so we're going to go ahead and dump in both our packets of yeast. And I'm going to go ahead and give that a stir. And then I'm going to go ahead and let this bloom for about 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so while we're going to let our yeast go ahead and bloom, I need 700 grams of flour, which we're gonna weigh it out. And I'm just gonna weigh it out right into my KitchenAid bowl. Alrighty. And then to that, we need 2 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So there's 1 teaspoon. 2, and then 1/4. Then we need 6 grams of vanilla extract. We're gonna use our homemade extract. Don't come at me, it will be cooked down. But 6 grams is about 1 teaspoon. Then we need 2 eggs. So let's get the eggs. And then we also need 6 tablespoons of butter. We'll use that later. And I just slice my butter. This butter is already soft, so I'm not gonna melt it down. Alrighty, so now that our yeast has been blooming, we're gonna go ahead and get it dumped in our mixer. And I'm gonna add my 2 eggs. And these are farm fresh eggs. And what I want to do is I want to let this mix 8 to 10 minutes. And with fresh milled flour, it will stay stickier longer because it takes a little bit for the liquid to get absorbed in the flour. So it will take you a few more minutes. So don't add any extra flour to that. Let it sit and then go from there to see if you'll need extra flour, because you don't want it too sticky when you go to roll it out. But then we're also going to get working this week thinking about doing gingerbread cookies just to see if the kids like them, because I would like to make homemade gingerbread houses this year for Christmas. So we're waiting for it to pour away for the bowl. And it's still pretty liquidy. So we're gonna go ahead and give that a few more minutes and then we'll come back and check on it. So as you can see, it's starting to come together. So we're gonna go ahead and let this knead probably for another 5 minutes and check on it after 5 minutes. So it's still looking just a little bit too liquidy for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a little bit more flour in. That's another 1/4 cup. So we'll see what it looks like with the 1/4 cup. So now that it's starting to come together, I don't want to add any more flour because I don't want to mess up the consistency, because with it being fresh milled flour and it absorbing the moisture, I don't want my dough to get too dry. So I'm gonna let it knead for about another 3 minutes, and then I'm gonna stick it in my oven to stay warm so it can rise. I will oil my bowl, then I'll put this lid on top of my mixing bowl and stick it in the oven. Okay, so I'm gonna knead it by hand for a few minutes just to get my gluten to build and to see if it will help the flour absorb the moisture. And then this is what my dough is looking like. So we're going to keep working it. So we've been working it for about 5 minutes. So this is what it looked like. It went from being really sticky. Now it's not. So you just gotta work it. We're gonna go ahead and put some olive oil in this bowl. I don't like the dirty bowl, so I just reuse the same bowl. And then I'm gonna stick this in the oven and we're gonna let this rise for about an hour. And after an hour, we will be back and we will go ahead and get the filling done. So I think in my cinnamon rolls, I'm gonna put raisins in because the boys really enjoyed over the weekend when I put raisins in. They're like, oh mom, we don't like raisins. Well, I put them in and they never knew the difference. Alrighty, so what we're gonna do is take this beautiful dough that we've let rise and we're gonna roll it out. And I do have my butter. I shut that off. I had it melting behind me. I'm gonna take my butter
To be realistic,
and I'm gonna go ahead and just spread this over the whole thing. Okay, so now we got the butter spread. I got what you call stevia brown sugar, and so I'm gonna go ahead and put that on here. If you want, you can use regular brown sugar.
These discussions will take some time, and we need people to be realistic about this. However, people should know that we're doing everything we can on the ground to help them.
In downtown Wellington, search and rescue teams are still recovering bodies. 7 days after the quake, some dangerous no-go areas like this one are now being searched thoroughly. And so mostly searches. The alarm was raised when a white flag was seen jutting from the debris on the 5th floor. Dogs and abseilers have been used to recover at least 4 bodies and 3 survivors from the building.
Okay. Now that we got that spread out nice and evenly, we're gonna go ahead and take our cinnamon. We're just gonna sprinkle it over, give it a nice coat. And then I'm gonna take these lovely raisins that my boy said, ew, we don't like raisins too. I'm gonna put them on here because they liked them over the weekend. The little one thought they were chocolate chips, so it was kind of cute. So after you get your raisins on here, you want to go ahead and just roll this nice and tight. So we're going to go ahead and get this rolled, then we'll get them cut, and then we're going to put them in a pan, and we're going to do a second rise. So what we're going to start doing, pan here, is I am going to go ahead, I already cut one, but we're going to get these cut. And I'm probably gonna cut them about an inch thick. One, two. So it's gonna get me 14 cinnamon rolls. This is what they're looking like. So I'll put them in this pan. Get this pan filled. I might have to use 2 pans. We will see. And we will go ahead and let them do a second rise. So I'll get out a little pan to put the rest of those in, because I can only get 369 on this pan. But this is what they're looking like as they slide down. Gotta love it. Leave it up to me to just make them all slide. But they're gonna be delicious. Alrighty friends, so while we wait on them to do the second rise, I'm gonna go ahead and get my dishes washed up and then wash my counters up. I'm gonna let them rise probably a good 30 to 40 minutes, and then we'll check them, and then we'll go ahead and get them baked at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes. So that's what we're gonna start them out as. If there's anything that you guys want to see made, or any new recipe ideas that you guys are thinking about for Thanksgiving, leave it down in the comments below. I always read all my comments. I reply to all of them. If you're new here, I just ask that you hit the like and the subscribe button. We like to stay talking with our subscribers, and we like to get out new content. Every Sunday we bring out new content, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and finish getting these dishes washed up, and we will be back as soon as we're done rising. Alrighty, so now that we let them rise, we're gonna go ahead and set our oven to 350 and go ahead and let them bake for 30 minutes. Alright guys, so we're gonna check these because it's been about 35 minutes. That stove is hot. Those look absolutely beautiful. You can still see the sugars and stuff that come out melting. So I'm gonna get these plated up on a cooling rack right now. I'm gonna let these cool, and when the boys come home, I'm gonna surprise them and let them try them. So while I wait for the kids, I'm gonna go ahead and try them. I broke it apart just to let the raisins cool down. That fresh milled flour is really good. The texture of these is really good. They're nice, soft, and they're chewy. So I really like these. And I love the raisins in them. I love raisins. I could eat raisins every day. About to have some happy kids when they come home. So wait to see their reaction of these lovely ooey gooey cinnamon rolls. You can see the steam coming off that. What you got? Let me see. Is it Num Nums?
Why do you want my M&Ms?
Oh, you want M&Ms on them? Is it good? Uh-huh. And that girl, you're so fibbing. Look at you. It's all he's got left of it. And he took a whole big one. You gonna eat them all again today? No? I made a whole tray. Are you happy? He's gonna go get more. Did you try them over there? What do you think? Son, what do you think?
I like them. I think they're better than yesterday's. Whatever you did to them, I don't know. Pretty good. They're golden.
I cooked them less time today.
Or nice and golden. Nice and soft, unlike yesterday's.
I cooked them a little bit too long yesterday, huh?
Yeah. They're gonna be gone in the next hour. Don't get this beer belly for nothing. Dad bod going on. Only 14.
Well, there you have it. My kids love the cinnamon rolls. So, until next time, friends, we thank you for watching and tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like and that subscribe button. Bye.
Is your body wants to have a baby grow, and so this hormone helps